Um, Hi everyone, my name is Michelle Van Curve, autistic self-advocate and known for my blog website, The World of Autism. Continuing on with our guest series, I have a special guest on today. We have Olivia D. Hi Olivia,
Hello.
hope everything's going well. See that you're outside today.
I am outside today, so I'm enjoying the weather.
Nice. That's awesome. And I love your shirt, the neurodiversity, celebrating neurodiversity. I love it.
We need to celebrate more of it.
Yeah, absolutely. I wanted to start this off with you getting to share a little bit about yourself for those who don't know you and your journey and everything. So let's start with that.
So I'm 34 and I have autism and anxiety depression. I've known since I was little. At first, the doctors told my parents I had mild retardation, but as I got older, we found out it was a learning disability. And then as I became a teenager, we found out it was Asperger's. Now it's autism. Um, and you know, it's gotten harder as becoming as an adult, especially with my anxiety depression, because like no one understands autism, especially when you're like in the middle. Like I hate saying the word. I want they've changed every word for autism and everything else. They need to change this. I'm like a level 1 and a level 3. Like I'm in the middle, and no one talks about that level. They say there's no such thing, and I'm like, there is a thing. I'm like, I have it. I'm like, I'm not making it up. I have both characteristic traits.
Yeah,
So
especially like autism is such a spectrum. Like there is different like levels and abilities and everything. So and it's often like it's crazy how it's often forget like you have that like from your perspective like that middle level and people forget that. And I do agree with you. Like there's been way too many changes in the DSM-5. It's like ridiculous.
ugh, that's why like I have a lotus tattoo, and that's my autism logo. Because people do like the Xfinity sign, but I feel like there's so many people that do this Xfinity sign. I mean, so it doesn't really stand out for the autism community. So like the lotus flower, you know, a lotus comes out of the mud and comes becomes beautiful, and that's like autism. We all bloom differently and come out beautiful and strong. And I'm like, that's my logo for autism.
That's awesome. Yeah, I know everybody identifies something that like the symbol differently. I'll say this on my professional brand on Exceptional Shell. Like I still use like for me, I still use the puzzle piece. I know there's been a lot of controversy about that, but like ultimately at the end of the day, like you there's something different for everybody, you
Yeah,
know,
and
and it's just
I feel like the puzzle piece we all do it. We are like puzzle pieces. We all ha- fit differently into one, picture.
yeah. I know it's just there's been so many controversies when it comes to with symbols, but at the end of the day, it's just everybody's really how we've all said that how autism is such a spectrum. Everybody's experiences is so different. Everybody shows different characteristics and everything. So it's just
Yeah.
you know. Oh yeah. In and just to transition more into like I know you've been doing a ton of like I've seen you do a ton of like speaking opportunities and everything, sharing your journey and stuff. So I thought we'd go into that a little bit
Yeah.
more.
So I've spoken from like Congress. My what I'm learning in the autism community right now is especially where I live, and I'm very grateful that they're helping kids and everything, but like the bills that are being passed right now, it's all about children and kids. And I'm like, what about the adults? The
Adults.
adults need it too. We are struggling really bad. And when I spoken from my legislators, I said to them, I was like, I only got $322 from SSI this month. After I pay my bills, I'm like, I have nothing. I just sit at home. If it wasn't for family and friends, like I'm going to an event today, but my friends paid for me to go. Like I'm getting depressed asking for help all the time. And then people go, well, why don't you get a full-time job? And I'm like, it's because I haven't found the one that's suitable for me. Like the job I have now, I love it, but I get so overwhelmed and burned out. Like I'm just totally mentally drained by the end of the night. And I'm tired of like doing that. I'm hopefully beginning a job school at an autism charter school here in Naples when that opens. So I'm really excited about that.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah.
That's very cool. Very
Yeah.
cool. But yeah, in regards to like, I definitely agree with you 100%. There's definitely not enough services still for adults on the spectrum. Like, it's like so far from what I know in my area, in the Manatee Sarasota area, like there's been slowly some programs coming. Like one organization I've been part of is All Friends Network, which they provide like day programs and like events and stuff for adults ages 18 and up, which has been nice about that. But it's still not enough because there's so many people. There really
Yeah.
is. Like it's just, you know, and just the spread to other counties and everything is just it's important too. I agree with you on that. It's for children and stuff, and plus like I know there's been a lot of changes with everything going on with like impact of Medicaid and all that for like services and stuff, and that's a big one too because it's also going to impact kids.
Yeah. Like I wish I was going to DD Day tomorrow in Tallahassee, but I
Mhm.
couldn't get off work and everything. So it's bummed about that. I said maybe next year I'll be able to go.
So how often do you go? Do you go like a lot to where you're going to like Congress and everything?
I just go when there's meetings. Like my friend that runs Autism Collier, like she'll like message me and be like, "Oh, we have a legislator meeting this day. Can you come?" And I'm like, if it's on a day that I'm not doing anything, I will be there in a heartbeat. Because it's my dream to be an advocate. I want to be the advocate for the adults that can't speak up because I feel like in the autism community too, there's so many great speakers, but I feel like so many great speakers talk about so much the positive things and not
Yeah.
the negative things. Like they don't talk about like SSI and how if you make $2,000, you'll lose your money or you can't have
Yeah.
assets in your name or you'll lose your, benefits. And um that's where like I try my hardest to go to these meetings and I want to become a better advocate to talk about this stuff because people don't know. I know, I think this is why I know personally because people, when I do tell them, they go, really? They're like, we didn't know that. We always hear about the positive stuff about autism. I'm like, well, yeah, great, but that's not
hmm
the other side of the rainbow.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of challenges that are out there, especially like with the government and stuff in regards of services and everything, and dealing with SSI. It's just, oh, yeah, it's not easy. Uh-uh.
No,
Especially like as getting older and stuff, like there are less services, which is not right because, there there needs to be a lot more that's out there.
yeah,
I know there's organization that I've been part of, which is called Card USF, and they've recently just went out to Congress and everything in regards to like more funding, so that way they could get services, including for adults and stuff, because it's not enough.
no. It's, and then like these programs that you're talking about earlier, they're great. Like I'm a part of a couple programs and they do a lot of events and activities, but I can't go to them because I can't afford them. And I keep trying to explain that to them. Like, you need to have like sorry, that's one of my dogs. You need to have, like a grant or something, that will help these individuals like me, you know, do events and all this stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just, you know, I I hope that as more like advocates are coming out like yourself that are going to Congress and like really pushing for these changes because it's really important.
Yeah.
It's really
Be
important.
it is because I want to go out and do things. But like I said, I can't because I can't afford it. After I pay all my bills, I literally right now, if I looked at my bank account, I probably have $600 total, you know, and it's not fair.
And all that
It,
money is being used, like you have to like basically use all that money from SSI very
yeah,
quickly.
yep. If like I said, I pay rent 550, and then after my 550 is done, yeah, I am basically asking family friends, help, I'm broke. And then they'll go, I have a lot of people say to me too, they're like, well, why don't you get a second job? I'm like, it's not that easy to find a second job for someone with a disability that's gonna fit
Mhm.
my needs and my like structure, like the things I need and everything.
Right. Especially like a lot of the jobs that are in person now, like, and even going through the interview process is a whole nother obstacle,
Yeah,
depending on how HR hires people and everything.
yeah.
Oh, your dog's so cute. I just had to say that.
This is the one that's been barking.
Oh,
He's the
he's so cute.
troublemaker.
Yeah. Um, I do want to say though, like it's definitely, and this is important for everybody, just for those who are gonna be watching and everything, that like please, please, please continue to spread more, like to help fund and increase more services because it's really still not enough. And especially as there's more adults out there, like it's very crucial and vital for success. So definitely, please continue with that. And by the way, I sound like I have a cold. I've been dealing with a cold, so fun times. But yeah. But
Yeah.
anyways, Olivia, if there's anything like just to kind of like wrap things up, if there's any advice that you have for people who are going through the same struggles or just in general, like any tips, what would you give?
Like you just said, just share your story. That's every time I meet someone, I tell them I have autism. I tell them the struggles I go through. And I do say to them too, I'm like, I'm not looking for handouts. I'm not looking for freebies. I'm not looking for a way out. I'm looking for a change. And that's what I always tell people. I'm like, don't. And if people do give you free things, and I'm wearing this, it's because they want to, not because you told them a story. They doing it because they want to help out as best as they know they can.
Absolutely. And it's at this point, it's more than just like inclusion. It's basically advocacy at this point that
Yeah.
the world needs to move towards. Because I know we've gotten better education wise and more acceptance wise. Now we just need to really advocate. And that's a
Yeah.
big thing.
And if you like join your groups and everything, like I was on a meeting yesterday to learn how to be a better advocate. And I was telling the other people in the video, like, you know, like I'm in part of Autism Collier and it's helped me out a lot. I've spoken in front of legislators. That's where I really knew I wanted to become an advocate. I spoke in at a gala where I work and everything. I told them about my autism and my struggles, and I got a standing ovation. And that's the like way I got that was last year when they had their other gala. I said, I want to speak at your gala. I want to tell them my struggles and everything. So that's what we have to do in this world. We have to be a annoying person sometimes to like get our voices out, unfortunately. And it does
It's
sometimes like
persistency.
it
It's
is sometimes
persistency.
I feel bad. I'm like, am I being too annoying? Am I being, too upfront? And I have to remind myself, no, because if I'm not upfront, how am I gonna get my voice heard? And I'm not doing it for me, like I said earlier. I'm doing it for the adults that don't have the voice or don't know how to speak up for themselves.
Absolutely. I can agree with you 100% right there. That's for sure. But yeah. thank you so much, Olivia, for coming on and to share your journey and everything, and definitely the push for all the services, especially for our adults and stuff, because services should never end, you know?
Shouldn't, and really quickly, like,
Yeah.
they're doing all these, passing all these bills for children and everything, but what's going to happen after they're adults and everything? Those services in that you guys are getting bills passed, which I'm very, very grateful. We need better, things in schools and better care and all that stuff. But people need to realize what's going to happen when they become adults
Yep.
because that's when things end.
Hmm. Yeah.
And that's what
Exactly.
people don't see.
Exactly. Yeah. Because it's, you know, that's what people don't get, that is that like you gotta plan ahead.
Yeah.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much again, Olivia.
Thank you.